Yo, 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 yo. What's good? What is good, everybody? Welcome back to me, to the stream, and how are you guys doing? Yeah, here for another day of streaming exercise, and we are going to continue from where we left off. Right now, we are going to try to, finish up the Tiger Gen model that we started, and yeah, without much further ado, let's get to it. Um, so what I'm going to be doing today is to focus on how to complete the model, because for some reason I can't just get the inner workings of this generator, right? So what I'm going to be focusing on is kind of using references like this. This is not the exact same type, but using references like this to complete some of the inner part, like right here. So we're going to be doing that, and yeah, let's get to it. Let's get to it. So right now, I think it's really more about like just putting in details that wouldn't be. So I'm going to GX in a little bit, and then I think so. I'm going to fill this right, and then from here, I really can't see what the shape looks like. Yeah, but we're going to try something. I'm going to duplicate this, right? P to separate that selection, and on this selection I'm going to try to form this, whatever is going on here. For example, down here I can see that there's some kind of a square base, so I can move certain vertices to form that, like SY0, and have this, select some of this SC 0 GZ. Then we have this corner right here. I think it looks more like this actually. Yep. So we have this corner. Next up, I think there are some ridges right here that I need to account for. So for example, right here, I will need to add something like this, and then select both and just GY in like so. Right, and this is just about like creating believability at this point, because again, I can't really find the inner compartment of this. Like the ones I'm just seeing are just outer, and these are like new references. So I'm going to use these references a little bit to kind of complete, like for example, this side, this part, there are a lot of electricals going on here. I'm going to use a reference to complete that for sure. So I think right there is good. I'm also thinking of like some way to kind of join, because I want a first block and a second block. So maybe right here I can bring in a circle. Bring in a circle, turn that to view and scale that down just like so. And then I think from here through to here, I'm going to delete those vertex and then fill. I'm going to delete this and then GG to fill. So all of this, I'm just going to fill that shape. And then I don't even know if these two are connected. Let's see. Okay, they are. For some reason, not even for some reason, because this is just some weird joining. So I could understand why both just didn't join. So instead of doing that, maybe I want to Let's do this. Maybe I want to subdivide this part twice and then turn this into the shape that I need. So all of this, I'm going to GY. What it is, delete. GY. GY. Right. Then this to GY. So all of this extension I've created here, I'm just going to relax it, make it smoother, and I think we'll just have to adjust a little bit of this on the z-axis too. So this is cool. I can relax. So yeah, I think with this we're able to have some more details of this joining right here. So that's cool. I think this needs to be gone, so I can select this and delete vertices. So with this, I think we can make the first extrusion on this right here. So this is good for like the first block, right? I'm going to bring others to just see what it looks like in the context of the whole thing. As a matter of fact, this is supposed to be, I'm supposed to be seeing it on this side because it's never going to add so much. I think it's going to show. So let's continue. So right here, we're going to do the second block. So for the second block, I will duplicate this, separate that selection, and then I want to, in fact, before I do that, I want to create an extrusion on this. So an extrusion like this. I'll select these faces and then, nope. Select these faces and I want to extrude along normals. Why isn't it allowing me to? That's strange. Wow. That's weird. Like, why can't I extrude along normals? Can I fatten? Yeah, but no, that's not what I want to do though. Maybe I should apply all the geometry to mesh and then, okay. So I think the boolean was stopping me from extruding along normals. So it's done right now, but I lost all my boolean. I don't know if I'm going to need it, but like right now, I think any other thing I'm going to be needing, I'm just going to be problem solving on the fly. So we have that right here. Select this face, duplicate that, separate that selection, and then right here I'm going to continue the extrusion on this side. Tomato, hi, how are you doing? Hope you're great. Welcome to the stream, man. I think this is the first time I'm seeing you on stream. Not really familiar with the name, but shout out to you. So this is like the second block right here. And what we're going to do with the second is, you know what, there's something in the first block I want to fix actually. Right before the extrusion along the mouse. And I'm sure you see what I'm actually talking about. You see this? I want to make this rounder. Can I use subdivision on this? I can, but yeah, I can. But I'll do it after the fact actually. So let's do the extrusion again, and then shade it to smooth. So I'm going to take this face, duplicate, separate that selection, and then right here I'm going to extrude ever so slightly. Yeah, nice to hear. Good man. Yeah, let me check you on video, because something I always like to do is to see if your you're a 3D artist or you use Blender, stuff like that. So let me just do a quick check, and we'll get back to Blender. Oh, come up, man. Like, this thing is taking so much time. Okay. Yeah, seen you. Let me check. Let's check. Okay. Nice. Looks like you're a dancer. Yeah. Shout out to you, man. Uh, alright here. Shout out, man. Thanks for thanks for supporting as always. Uh for me to say, I don't know if you're familiar with English, but yeah, I've been using Blender for 6 years now, so that's really a long time to like practice and get familiar with it. But again, it's just about taking courses. But then I kind of have a philosophy about taking courses in Blender. Whenever anyone asks me, I have like a sequence that I go through. And if you would understand, I think first thing I would say you should do is take a structured course, take like a paid course, something that takes you from zero to a an intermediate stage, something that you'd have 4 or 5 projects at the end of the course. Yeah, I would say you check through Udemy. They have some of the best Blender courses. Then right after that, you do some YouTube tutorials. Like, do your YouTube donuts. Very important for Blender users. Because you want to look back at those and and see the improvement over time. So yeah, that's all I'm just going to say. I'm going to get back to the video, and yeah, right here I'm just going to JX, right, and then think right around here I'll bring in closer to this point. I'll bring in a cylinder. I'll RY 90 on that cylinder, and I'll scale it down. So this is going to serve as a little bit of a holding, right? So I'm going to GX on this and SX. That's cool. Ooh, that's not good. So I'm just going to GY this out of the way, like so. And then right here, I'll bring cursor to this. I'll bring cursor to this point. Shade auto smooth, and then I can scale this down. SZ RY 90, and then scale this down a little bit. 1 second, guys. Yo, okay. Tomido, I think you said you want to share some of your work. I think you should. What you can do is follow me on Instagram. You would see it on my. Well, let me just text it on here. Follow me on Instagram. You can share some of the work. Actually, I won't mind like looking at it. Yeah, you can just share and yeah. When I'm done with the stream, I think I'll still go on by 11 again. When I'm done with the stream, I'll go through definitely. Shout out to you, man. So yeah, let's just continue step by step with our model. That's cool. So we're building the engine block. And next up, I'm going to duplicate this. And this block is going to have a little bit of separation. Like a GX. And then you see all of this. I'm going to move them. So this is going to GY, GY, and GY. So I'm just going to restructure this to make sure that it looks like it's echoing this shape right here. I'm going to relax. I'm going to select all of this and then relax also. So that's cool. I can GX this out a little bit. And then you see this down shape here. We're going to have this entire part replaced by a circle. Right? So this entire part down here, I would want to delete, but let me just bring in this shape. I can bring in a circle, change that to view, and this entire part, I just want to have it replaced with a circle actually. And you will see why in a second. I'm going to scale that down a little, and then my circle I'll scale up. So what this is going to help me with now is select all of this, come to this side, and I will select this part and then this part. Now delete those vertices. So this makes sense right now, but you see this, I want to bring geometry to this point and bring cursor to selected, and this selected, I want to make sure that it's on the same spot as the cursor. Let me see from the side view. I think they're from the same spot, so I don't need to do that anymore. I can select this, select both, join, and then this circle that I just brought in. Yeah, you don't need to share your work, Tomido. You don't need to share your work. Like, you can just have it sent to my Instagram DM. I would check it out. Like, it doesn't have to be an Instagram profile or anything like that. I understand the anxiety around, you know, sharing your work. So if you're not comfortable with it, just you can just send us a DM. Only I, and I promise only I would see. Like me saying that I understand the anxiety around sharing your work. I understand that based on I just started learning how to draw, and I get to a stage where I feel like, ah man, this is so cool. Like maybe I want to share my work. But then I just realized, man, okay, dude, you need to calm down. You're just 8 months into like learning how to draw. You don't want to do that to yourself. So I try to, reduce pressure and just move at my own pace. I'm not really like trying to compete with anybody or stuff like that. Like whatever it is that feels good to me, that's what I do, basically. Yeah. Based on like what I said about learning how to draw, bruh, I feel like every human should actually learn how to draw. Like so long as you are living and you're a human being on earth, you should learn how to draw. Because somehow I've discovered that my observational skill has improved. Like I tend to observe stuff a lot better, like details that you know people would normally miss. I would get. And I was at work today and I was trying to explain something to someone. Very, very unlike me to just grab my jotter and do a sketch. That was a crazy feeling and I really enjoyed that. The fact that I could, just grab a jotter and show the person what I was trying to say. That was cool as fuck. But yeah. I think around here, I wouldn't want this to go all the way. So maybe I want to do something like this. I feel like this entire set needs to be longer. So I'll select this and GX out because the oil tank goes in here. Then I'll select this Shift D, separate that selection. I can scale all of that down, extrude that a little bit, and then this. Let me see everything in context so I know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm still on track. All right. Okay, still good. So this part where this ending part right here, oh no, I think I will just use the same. Shift D, separate that selection. I'm going to scale and then I would extrude this out to the end. But this time around, I'm going to undo. You see all of these things that happen here. I'm going to dissolve all of these vertices, right? Then I would GX. I'll scale this a little bit and then I can extrude just like so. As a matter of fact, this one too, I think I want to close this part up. Remember, like, this isn't like something that will just happens all of a sudden. You have to go like step by step. And it takes some time. So I'm going to extrude this out like this. And then somewhere around here, I'm going to bevel this line. GX, scale GX. So what I'm thinking about right now is how to put a cylinder shape, attach a cylinder to this. So I'm going to bring in, select these faces, bring in a cursor to that point, and I'll bring a cylinder which will want 32 sides. I wish I want 32 sides. Tomido, nah, I don't speak Arabic, man. Nah, I don't. I don't, unfortunately. Do you speak English and Arabic? Because that would be like really cool if you do. Do you speak English and Arabic? Because I see you're able to like reply me and have a full blown conversation. So yeah, I'd like to know. Let me isolate this and then treat this as a different element. J. As a matter of fact, I'm going to union. Like so. So this, I'm going to shade auto smooth and then I'm going to union. And then I'm just going to apply that boolean. So we're just going to try to clean up this mesh. I think first thing about cleaning up this is to add a couple of loops right here. So this can join, this can join, this can join, and then this can join. And we'll do the same for the lower part also. So for the lower parts, I think there are a lot more vertices here than it meets the eyes actually. There are a lot more vertices here. Dissolve edge. Maybe I can dissolve edge. Let's see. Okay, no. Dissolve edge. I think this top one. What's this edge here? I don't understand. Oh, it's the Boolean object. Shit. So I can remove that Boolean object and we'll continue to clean up. So right here we can join. Right here, join. And for this part, you can just select one of these and just complete this shape. So I know that if I want to add in a general bevel, I'll be able to add that easily. So we have that shape, and next up, I'm going to continue the inner compartment of this. Right? So for this, we're going to have a screw running from here all the way to there. I just noticed something right now. So what I noticed is that like if I have a screw running in here, it will be hard to loosen and tighten that screw because there's no space. Except the screw is really small. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it really small. Because I don't want to do this back again. So I'm going to bring the cylinder RY90, scale that down, SX, GX, SX. So right here, I'll bring in this and I'll bring the cylinder, turn 96, scale that down, RX or RY90 rather. I can scale, I can SX, scale down, I can scale this, Shift X, SX, and then I'm just going to shade smooth. right? So that's cool. Next thing I'm going to try to figure out is how to connect this to this right here. So let me just hide this, in fact, right? Um, this I am going to. Ooh, see what I'm saying? We are really. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Let me come in. Let me come in plain. Let me come in straight to you, Tomato. Right. Um. Here's my phone. I am using my phone to monitor the stream in case I get comments like you are engaging today. I don't usually get comments as much as like today. So it's not like second nature for me to always check the comments and stuff like that. So most of the time I would get too carried away with the work that I'll forget that, oh, there might be people on stream. Today is just one of those days where like there how many people are there? I see three right now. There was five at some point, and that is like that's a lot you know for my stream. Uh yeah. I apologize that I'm taking time to reply, but that is what's happening. You know. Try as much as possible to look to my right. And if you see me look to my right, like more often than not, like that's because I'm trying to monitor and see what's going on. Very soon I don't know yet, but I have a feeling that I'm going to get what you call it, a monitor separate to just handle that. Hey, oh more Daniel, there's no rest for the weekend. There's no rest for the weekend. Though. You want the rest for Tinubu economy, bruh. There's nothing like that going on, man. Nothing of that. Okay, yeah, a little bit. This weekend, I was well rested. Spent some time with my girlfriend, so like, yeah, I was really well rested this weekend. So yeah, I still find a little bit of time to rest, a little bit. But just so that I complete this 100 days, whatever, I'm just trying to just grind my way through it. I don't think this is ever going to happen again. And if it ever happens, it's going to be something that is going to be coming in like weekly, or once in 2 weeks. Yeah, because I feel like I enjoyed it. I learned a lot and it got me up to speed on where I was in blenders at like um 3 4 years ago. I'm a lot faster, you know. I didn't feel like I was that fast recently. But once I started this stream, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm getting there a little bit. I'm going to delete this. Yeah, I like this inner compartment. I think what I'm going to do next to fill out this space is do some if you look at this part, you see that there are some electricals here. So I'm going to bring in some electrical box, like for example around here. I'm going to bring in a cube, scale that down. And the funny thing is that there's no one of this model online. I checked like CGTrader, Turbo Squid. I've not seen one of these generators. The generators I see are like diesel gen, something just big and high capacity generator. But like this one that is a staple in Nigeria, nope, no, I didn't see any of this. So yeah, I would like to do it really good so that when I upload on City Trader, people would kind of see the value in it. So I think for this, I'm going to simulate this look a little bit by inserting. I would extrude this inward, but I'm going to apply scale first. I'll be insert this inward. Let me apply scale, insert. extrude. 1 second, guys. Just give me a second. Right. I'm back. Tomato, you said hi. I follow you on Instagram. Yeah. Okay. Then drop a message. Drop a message. Honestly, I really like to see your work. You know, cause I mean, after all of this streaming stuff, I probably would want to use the same energy to teach beginners, right? And what I intend on doing is like making it a daily stream like this. Do it for like a week, but that would require me to use vanilla blender, which bruh, hmm, I've not used vanilla blender in a long time, man. Like when I mean vanilla blender, I mean like blender that doesn't have um blender that doesn't have any add-on, all these my boolean calls that I'm just able to do real fast like this. Like no, none of that. None of that exists. So I really, maybe I would want to just challenge myself to use vanilla blender for a while so that I can teach people that are interested in this. But I don't even know if people are even interested in this with the whole AI thing going on. But yeah, shout out to you, Tomido, for being interested, because with what's going on now, you might want to be discouraged, but like, trust me, all of these are just still going to be relevant. Trust me, it's not enough. It's not a good pitch. I think I should actually give you a reason why it's still going to be relevant. I still feel like there's still, a lot of human touch that needs to go into models in particular, 3D models. Like you see all of these platforms generating 3D models. They do it in such a way that you would still need to retopo. So you see all of those retopo artists, they're not going out of work anytime soon, bro. Like people that know how to do retopology and all of that fun stuff. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. And yeah, even people that know how to model, because like some of those models are unusable. So you literally have to probably do some blockouts on it and find a way to remodel the whole thing. Or if you have a good PC, like I mean, you can use the model like that, and it's really dense. That's why some people might want to rework the model. But yeah, I mean, the whole AI thing didn't stop me from learning how to draw. Like I didn't really think about it. I just did what I wanted to do at the time. I felt like I needed to learn how to draw, and I went for it. All of that fundamentals and beginner stage learnings that I've been doing in drawing is still going to be relevant. Proportions are still going to be relevant. Your scale is still going to be relevant. Most importantly, your taste is even what's going to separate like a lot of designers, good designers from like great high level thinking designers. Um yeah. Okay. I said I would get to it. I can't get to it on stream right now. But the moment I'm done, I would definitely text you, man. And yeah, I really want to appreciate you for like being on the stream. Means a lot. Means a lot. And you said something. You said you have been watching my I've been watching my videos. That's really nice. I really appreciate that. Like the fact that you've been watching the videos. I'm kind of curious. Is it like the live videos, or you've been watching just videos on the channel? Because yeah, I would like to know. I'd like to know. I've been trying to figure out ways I can use to improve my YouTube videos. So yeah, any feedback would be appreciated. I think one of the highest feedback I get is like, slow it down, talk a bit slower, get screencast keys, all of those things. I'm going to figure out. But yeah, if you have any inputs that you think I can do to improve quality of video on the channel, I'm open to all of those for sure. So yeah, I didn't do handle for the gen, so I'm going to do one right now. I'm going to scale this on the Y. Yeah, I'm going to extrude on the Z. Okay. I'm going to move this in like so. SX, extrude on the Z. As a matter of fact, maybe I want to make sure it follows this path. Maybe let me take out this face. Extrude, rotate, extrude, rotate, EX, and then mirror. Right here, I want to remove the sub D. And the reason I want to remove the sub D is I want to be able to like model in a low poly mode and then figure out where I need to add bevels to hold that sub D. But to me, they were like, do you understand? Like, okay. I create my controller with your videos, man. Oh, okay. That's the PS5 controller, yeah. Yeah, I think I remember that one. That was like a very, very difficult video to produce. It was a lot of work. And I think somehow throughout this journey, I've learned how to just kind of detach myself from the amount of work and trying to put an expectation on that. Like, I just try to make the video and whatever comes out of the numbers comes out. It's hard. It's hard. I won't even lie to you. Very, very hard to detach yourself, considering the amount of work that goes into like making one video. If it was like logo work, I wouldn't even think about it too much. But this one, oh my god. There was one that happened to me recently, and I know what caused it. Like, what happened was, so this video, let me show you. So, when I resumed in January, this was kind of my first video I uploaded. It did like 200 easy, like it just went off. The next one I did was this, and this was an extract from the live streams I've been doing, and this thing was crawling, like it was doing like 4 views in like a week, and I was wondering like what was going on. But I think what happened with that one was how it was edited. How it was edited was just terrible. Because if you look at the next one, you see that okay, yeah, I'm getting the kind of views that I would expect from, my regular upload. Yeah. So that's not going to happen again. I'm just going to edit these live streams like they were regular video. I'm not going to tell anybody like, oh, this is the live stream. This is an extract from my live stream. No, 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 no. We're not doing that over here. What's going on? Why can't I select? This is strange. Why can't I select the entire loop? That's strange. Anyway, handle is done. If that thing happens again, definitely going to have to go and check. But this handle is too big. Look at it here. It's too big. So on the side, I would GY SY GY SZ. So I think this is more like what I would expect from the handle. So this is done. I think from here I'm pretty good with the detail. There's something down here that I need to create. So it looks something like this. I'm going to bring in a cube, scale that down. I would SY, GZ, GY like so. And then this I would GY. So this loop right here, I'll select this edge GY and then down here GY. So we can have GY on this and then GY on this. So all of this, what? Huh. Can bevel and okay, this has an attachment. This has an attachment to this. So for example, this part, this is not joining, this is not a natural joining right here. This is in no way a natural joining. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to apply this mirror, and this one I'm going to bring it down like so. There's a little bit of an cylindrical attachment, so it's like an extension of this. I'm going to bevel this a little, and then this edge is also going to be beveled. Bevel, that's cool. Right here I'll add this loop, and then this through to here. I'm going to bring in cursor. So I'm going to bring in a cylinder. Yeah, Tomido, you didn't answer my question. I don't know if you're still on, but I would really like to hear from you. Which one are you? Okay, yeah, you already. Oh my god, I forgot. You already answered me. The controller. Okay. I can scale, but I don't want to scale it that big. There's a defect here that I need to fix. And I think I'm going to fix that by doing this. I'm going to have a break here. Okay. Shader to smooth. That's good. Um, I'm not seeing anything from here again. Oh. Uh-huh. Just so hard having to like guess the different parts like this. It doesn't make sense. At least even the carburetor, I should be able to see the carburetor and model that one. That one is even like something that is important. Shit. can't make out what's going on in here. Like even from this view, I can't really understand what's happening. Mm. You know what? I'm going to isolate this. Select the center. I'm bringing a cylinder. Okay. So yeah, we're still trying to figure out how to fill out these empty spaces. I think for the most part, this side, I think I know what I'm going to do. And maybe I should even just focus on that first. Hmm. Hmm. Let me see if I can get some ideas from here. Nope. What if I model these wires? Will it do anything to the overall model? I don't know.
Okay. Oh, okay, 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 okay. You know what I was going to do? I thought I was going to text you my thoughts about your trading model. But you know what? Let me just do it on stream. I was hoping to just focus on modeling on the stream, but yeah, let's see if we can do that. I don't know if you're still on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Are you still on? Please let me know if you're still on so I can go through the work. All right. Oh, okay. I thought you shared the work, bro. Like, can you please share? All right. So I just dropped a message. Just share it. Okay. I feel like you see these parts right here. I'm good with it. I just need to maybe create something similar. For example, this I can shift the X and do the same thing on this side. Right? But wait, maybe I should browse the carburetor. Hmm. Okay. You see what I'm talking about? This is a very, very important aspect of that my modeling. You see this switch? You can see it there in the model, but the lower part of it, I just can't find it. I don't think this one might have this particular generator might have a carburetor. I don't think it does. Because if it does, it's supposed to be visible in that my reference. So I'm just going to take one of this and just build the carburetor out of this. I think it should be this one actually, or this one. No, it should be this because of this extension. I know my model has this, or maybe it's this. No, it's this actually. Let's see. So what I think is this is because you see this part where you used to like choke the gen. I already have it down here. This is it. So the carburetor attaches to the down part of this. So I'm going to model this by just looking at it and figuring things out. So right here, you see this entire thing. I'm going to GY. I'm going to share the angle too, but let me just GY first of all. Then let me build the carburetor. So I'm going to start with the cylinder. Right, the cylinder goes here. Scale that down. GX. I'm going to move this to around here. Scale that cheesy. Right. Um See this part? I'm going to GZ. Or maybe GZ to this way. I'm going to add this bevel and then extrude along the mouse. Right? GZ. So that's cool. Shade auto smooth. Um this edge right here, I can bevel like so. And then adding a loop right here. All of this I can just SZ 0, and this right here I can scale in. So we know that at this point we're going to bring in a knot like a screw. All right. So I've seen your models, and bro, trust me, like you actually model really good. I think you were even trying to like show off a little bit, because look, just look at this keyboard with the RGB lighting and everything. Like it looks great. Why do you feel like your models are ugly? I know where you got this model from. I know that tutorial. I think that's Kaizen's tutorial on texturing. But yeah, these renders look good, man. Like even the mouse, they all look good. I see the texturing of the iPhone. Texturing of the iPhone is really good. Like you got the snowflakes, car flakes kind of texture. But maybe it's a little too strong. Yeah, man, these are really good. Oh. Yeah, that was a bit show offish. Tomato. I'm going to bring the cylinder. Six-sided. Bring in a loop right here. Bevel that. Extrude this along normals. And insert, extrude. Bevel. Cool. So right here, can bevel this. And then maybe I should isolate this and just focus on building the carburetor. Can select this to bring cursor to this point, and maybe I want to even approach it like this. EX. SY. GY. Cursor to this point. I'm going to bring in a screw, which is going to be a cylinder of 32 sides. Scale down. RX90. Scale SY rather. And then right here, I'm going to extrude this along normal. This on the side like so. I would GY. Right? So yeah, and I think one AI news that I heard recently that was really, really like exciting is the Oscars won't be recognizing movies that were made with AI. That's like a really, really big move. Really, really big move from a body like that. So right here, I would join, join. I'll join this and then join. And all of this, I'm going to extrude one and extrude again. I'm going to bring in a curve, Archimedes. Where is it? Archimedes spiral. First of all, bring down the radius. Number of turns can be increased, but then we won't see that except to increase the height. So I think this is good. I'll just scale down RX90 and GY. Like so. Another part of the carburetor that I need to show is this part right here. Drop this, extrude this, cursor to this point. I think curve. Should I use curve or I should use a cylinder? Let me use curve. All at center. Yo, Dominic, I really don't understand what you're asking for. Because from what I see, if you are able, so the truth is that if you're able to model that mouse, and I zoomed in, and topology looked good, bro, I actually think you're good. Except, of course, there's a certain level you're trying to hit, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to help you with because maybe I'm not on that level. I'm probably not on that level yet, you know. Convert to curve, add depth. Country Z. I can turn this into a mesh. Select this, extrude along normals, shade smooth, and then for the top, I want to select all of this. And then I'll do a checker deselect. And then extrude this outward. Right? I like that. That's not bad. The top here, I can't see what's going on there. So I'm just going to bevel, and then this I would insert and extrude outward. So apart from down here, I think this screw also appears here. So I'll duplicate this, rotate say 180, and I'll place this here. And I think it also appears here too. So just place this here as well. So I'm going to select all this, call back the rest, and try to figure out how I'm going to place this actually. GZ. I think this should be like this. This should be like this actually. So this part, I'm going to GZ. Then maybe it's going to be something like this, because I feel like this is the part that receives well from the tank into the carburetor, so it should kind of be connected to the tank a little bit. And this tank is not tanking, like, oh my god, this is something I need to correct actually. This tank needs to be sealed. Easy. I can scale this down and then fill the face, but nope, I'm not filling the face like that. Maybe I want to apply the sub D on this and then fill that face. Then bevel that a little, but it seems I need to merge by distance. And let's do it again. Maybe we need to shift N, recalculate normals, bevel. So shift N it was. I would delete this face, take this edge, and then grid fill. So that's cool. Okay. Oh, what's going on here? GX. See this handle here? This is so bad. Like this handle is not just it at all. Where is it? Like the design on this is just it's haunting me. J. Okay. I think that's probably a better design. It's not exactly the same, but it's a better design. Um so this is the choke. Um Apart from the choke, what else is there? You know what I should have done? Let me see. I should move this in a little bit. That's what I'm going to do right now. So you see this, all of this. I'll select everything and I'll move it in. So with this selected, I can GY. Just move that shit in like this. Just like so. This rubber is too close to the engine, so I don't think that should be so. It's going to melt. Yeah, what's up? So what's remaining for this is this part right here. Like this area is really, really empty. And I'm seeing this electrical stuff, but I don't think it's enough. Like it's not just electrical stuff that's up here. There are a lot more stuffs that I feel like are not accounted for. So I'm going to start and then see where that leads me. I'm going to bring cursor to say let's do this point. Right, and I'll start with this one and then I'll do this one. So I'll bring in cube, scale that down. SZ, let me even bring it above GZ, SZ, SX, just like so. Do this like so. In fact, let me isolate it. I'll select both, extrude along normals, and then this will have its own separate extrusion along normals. Right? Um, this right here, I'll delete faces, right? And then this and this, I'll delete faces here. So all of this, I would solidify, apply scale first, and then solidify. Cool. Apply. I think this should be longer, like so. So we have two wires coming up from the back. So I'm going to bring in cursor to this point, bring in all of that to center, and then right here, I can extrude, extrude, and can apply that. So I can GX, bring this out here, GX in a little bit. Maybe I should make this longer. And with this, I can shift DY and turn both into a curve, which would have depth. Right? Um, right here would have, I think it will have another wire doing the same thing. So can I shift DX? Selection, I can't separate that selection. I'm going to merge at center, shift DY, select all, extrude, apply. I'll turn this into a curve, add some depth to that. I'm going to just save this so I do not forget. So for this, I think I'm seeing what's going on here. So it's like move this in, move this in. So I'll bring cursor to this point and we have something like this. I'm going to bring in a cube, scale that. Right here, I would extrude this and SY. And I'll add this loop, scale, no. Yeah, add that loop, scale that down. Select this face, delete that face, even the edge entirely. So I can select this and extrude on the X and GZ a little bit. So this face I can GX out to this point. And yeah, I can round off this. Bevel, round off those bevel. Bring this right here. Select this, extrude along the mouse. Shade smooth. This is attached to something like this. Shift D. I would extrude this and then add in a loop here, which I would also extrude along the mouse. So this is kind of the connection that's going on here. Then this part, I can GX, bring cursor to this point, and then we're going to have something like this. SX, GX, SZ, right? S shift X, right? SZ. I can bring in loop right here, loop right here, and then all of these faces are going to be extruded along the mouse. But I'm going to apply scale first and extruded along the mouse. So right here, maybe I'll just want to start like tightening edges that I want to be influenced and less influenced by. bevel. I'm going to turn off sub D. Select this, select this. Select this and select this. Bevel. Let me see what the sub D is looking like. Sub D is not bad. Um, no, 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 no. So instead of doing that, I would stop here and then add bevel modifier. Right? Bevel modifier can come first before sub D. So in working the bevel modifier, I think this needs to be smaller. Like so. This two needs to come down. Cheesy. Bevel. That's cool. So I can add the sub D and everything is tight and looking good. I don't know what this red thing is inside here, but I think I have this compartment and that's good enough for me. Looks too big, so I'm going to scale it down. And I want to put that in here, but bro, it's not enough. It's not enough to fill this space. This space is like ginormous. Can I shift the X and move that to a dump? I think that's the first time I'm moving to a dump in this entire modeling. Right? So this ones, I'm going to take them and just commit them. Geometry to mesh, join all that, and yeah, this doesn't have to be straight. It can be like crooked. It can be rotated a little bit and cheesy. And maybe I want to can I duplicate this and then just try to complicate this place? Huh. I really would like to understand what's going on in here. Let me do some kit bashing. Like this is literally the exhaust. This is not supposed to be here. Hmm. Oh, this part, eh? This is the part I'm completely just unsure about. It's not just it at all. Completely unsure about this part. LGX scale down. GZ. Can I isolate this and do some trickery with this? Rotate. GZ. GY. Scale down. RX. GY. GZ. I think texturing this is just going to be a nightmare. I wish I was texturing and going at the same time. Okay. Think I think I'm good. Um let's see some textual work on this. Oh my god. I actually need to get off right now. So I know we have this, but we can tweak the color in the shader. Mix color. Good timing because I was already done. Good timing. Just add a thin bit of saturation. Um, Q project. Can I link this material and then make this into the black version of that, but take out the saturation? So yeah, man, I would like to texture this like right now so I can just post it up because I've not posted on my YouTube in a while. But you know what? No, I need to call someone, bro. Can't be on the stream anymore. So after this metal texture, I'm out. I think the roughness on this will have to be touched. So we're going to bring in more black. Connects. Yeah.